Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we will take a look at the ADX indicator. So if you don't know the ADX indicator, it's basically one of the best indicators that you can use, in my opinion, and it's used for determining the trend and also how the trend is strong. So you can see the ADX indicator here on my screen, it's right here, and basically it consists of three lines. The blue line shows you the strength of the current trend. The yellow line, or this yellow greenish line, shows you the bullish trend, and this pink line shows you the bearish trend. So basically, if this yellow line is higher than the pink line, we are in a bullish market, and vice versa. And just by using this indicator, we can basically get all of the needed information about the current trend that we need. And therefore, I will show you this this page on Investopedia, where you can read about the ADX indicator. So if you are interested in, just type Investopedia ADX and you will find this article. And here in this article they basically tell us the basic information about the ADX, but what I am interested in is this table right here. So this table tells us how to use or how to read the ADX value. So yeah, there's everything that we need to know. So if the ADX value is lower than 25, we are in a sideways sideways trend basically. So there's a weak trend or there's no trend. And then as we go up with the ADX value, we go to the different stages of the trend. So 25 to 50 is a strong trend, then very strong, and extremely strong. Okay, so that's basically how we read the ADX. And yeah, just by looking at the ADX, it's not that visible to us, because yeah, it's just not. So what I will do in this video is that I will create a new custom indicator based on the ADX indicator that will be much nicer and much more simple to read basically. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. So what I will do is that I will open my IDE. So let's hope this opens. Okay, this opens. So I'll just close all of these files. So these are just like some old projects that I am working on currently. And I will go to the indicators. I will find my YouTube folder right here, and I will create a new file. So custom indicator, and let's call it ADX indicator. So I will only need one parameter, and that is the ADX period, because ADX indicator requires one positional argument, and that is the period. So let's say ADX period, and we will stick with the initial value, which is 14. And yeah, on calculate function, that's what we need. And yeah, so let's discuss the plots basically. So how are we going to visualize the ADX in a better way? What I'm thinking of doing is that I will basically create new candlesticks, or I will create a color candlesticks basically. So what I mean is that if I show you, for example, this trend Fibonacci, you can see that the candlesticks have either green, yellow, or red color based on its current trend. So that's what I will do with the ADX project. So yeah, I will just close this, and I will also close this. So let's continue. So I will create, let's call it ADX ADX candle. Okay, so it will be type of color candles, and here we can select different colors. So let's discuss the colors as well. So if we go back to the ADX Investopedia article, we can see that we will need one color for sideways trend, so that will be something like a gray color. Then we need color for the strong trend, very strong trend, and extremely strong trend. And then we also have to differentiate between strong bullish and bearish. So it will be one color, two, two, and two. So in total 7 colors. So let's go back here and let's initialize the colors. So we'll start with this light gray. So this will be for a sideways trend, and then for a strong, we can choose something like tomato. Then we need more saturated shade, so orange red, and then red. And I will do the same thing for the green side as well, so some pale green, that's nice. Also we need, okay, let's go with this one, and then we can go with lime, or lime might be too aggressive, so let's go with long. Okay, that's not okay. Come on, let's find sea green. Let's go with sea green. Let's see how this goes. Okay, nice. So this is all we need to start, or this is all that we need in order to start with. So what I will do is that I will delete all of these comments. It's nice that we already have this these set index functions here, so that's a good thing. So this makes it easier for us, and this won't be that difficult. Like, this will be very easy to create, but I just want to show you what's possible with MQL5 and how you can transform the indicators. Okay, so in order to use the ADX indicator in our custom indicator, we need to create, firstly we need to create ADX handle, and then we need to load the ADX indicator into that handle, and after that use the handle in order to retrieve the values. So let's start by creating ADX handle, and we don't have to set any values to it. So ADX handle for ADX indicator. And then on init function, what we need to do is that we need to load the ADX, so symbol, period current, and moving average period will be the ADX period that we have created as an input integer right here. So this is all we need. Then let's create a for loop. So let's create static integer I is equal to ADX period. Okay, and for I is lower than arrays total, and I plus plus. We will do our coding here in this for loop. So let's also create ADX array. So this array will be used for storing the ADX values. Okay, and because we will need ADX values for, okay, if I bring this up here, so just 1 second, average directional movement index, so this should be it. So we will need values for each of the lines, so we basically need 3 arrays, so we need to create 3 arrays. So let's call this main array, so that will be for the full blue line, then bullish array and bearish array. Okay, so that's what we need. So yeah, so what we will do here is that we will copy buffer. So handle is ADX handle, that's clear. Buffer number, now I don't want to mess up the buffer numbers, but we will see. So for the main line it's 0, that's clear. Starting position, that will be rates total -1 -1, or rates total minus I -1. Count, we only need one value, and we will store it into the main array. So now let's copy this part here and let's paste it here 2 more times, and I will just change the buffer numbers, so 1 and 2. The 1 will be for a bullish array and 2 will be for bearish array. So now should we be set? So let's create our trend value basically, and in here we want to store an integer for the current trend. So basically what we will do is that we will compare the bullish array and we will see if the bullish array is larger than the bearish array, because if it is larger than bearish, then we are in an uptrend, so we will assign the trend variable value of 1. And if this is not the case, then we are in downtrend, so we will assign it value of 2. So by doing this, we know like if we are in uptrend or downtrend. So this is good. And now what we need to do is that when working with candlesticks, so here we are basically redrawing the candlesticks, so we need to deal with the candlestick arrays. So basically this is for open, high, low and close price. So what we need to do is that we need to so ADX candle buffer 1 is equal to open, high, low, close, so open, I. Okay, so this is what we need to do in the first place. Okay, I don't like this indentation. So 2 is for open, high, low and close, and 3 and 4. So yeah, this has to stay the same all the way. Okay, so we won't change anything like with these arrays. What we will change is the color of the candlestick will be based on the current trend, as we declared before. So I will create an, I don't know if I have to create an if else statement. I think it, like, I could create this in one line, in one very long line, but I think it will be easier to read if I create an if else statements for this. Like, it's not that professional, but it will be clean, and that's the main thing. So let's start with our first condition. So if yeah, and also I forgot one thing. We also need to or we don't have to retrieve it, but let's call it strength, and that will be equal to the main line or the main array. Okay, so if strength is lower than 25, so based on these rules here, if the ADX value is lower than 25, we have no trend. Okay, so if this is the case, then let's also create integer color ID is equal to 0. Then the color ID is equal to 0. And now what we are referring to, like if we check this part right here, this is the part where we set all of the colors. Okay, so if we say that we want to use the color at position 0, it's the first color. Our color at position 1 is the second color. Okay, so by giving this variable right here the correct value, we change the color of the candlestick. Okay, so this is our first case. Then else if strength is lower than 50. So if this is true, then we know that the strength is higher than 25, because if it was lower than 25, then this if else if statement would be triggered, and therefore we wouldn't trigger the second one. If I hope this makes sense. So if strength is lower than 50, then we also need to check for the trend. Okay, so I will do color ID is equal to, so if the trend is equal to 1, in that case we are in an uptrend. We want to select the pale green, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then we want to assign it number of 4. And if this is not the case, therefore we are in a downward trend, then we want to assign it value of 1. So this is for the red shade basically. And then let's do another else if strength is lower than 75. So that's our like next threshold right here, as you can see. Yeah. Then we want to do the same thing. So with color ID, so trend is equal to 1, then we want to use 5. And if that's not the case, we want to use number 2. And then if all of these are false, then it's clear that we are like in the highest trend group basically. So we can just say else. And then color ID is equal, and the same thing, trend equals 1. Then we want 6, and otherwise we want number 3. And what we will do here is that we will basically say ADX candle color at position I is equal to color ID. And I think this should work. So let's test it. I will open this. I will go to the common, okay, YouTube ADX indicator. Okay, so let's see if this is true. It seems like from the first view, this seems that this should be working, but let's check it. Okay, so here this is a sideways trend. So if we check the value of this ADX mainline, we can see that this is 19. As we progress, this is 24, but this is still lower than 25. So yeah, so this is what's happening here. And at this bar, okay, we have ADX of 26, and this is like our first shade of green. Why the green candlestick? Because this bullish line basically is higher than the bearish line, therefore we are in an uptrend. So this is nice that this works. If we check this, then we can see that the main ADX has value of 58. So like we go higher, or we choose more saturated shades of the colors, and therefore we change the color of the candlestick. And then this trend changes at this bar, and yeah, we switch to the downtrend. So this works pretty nice, if you ask me. Yeah, this works as it should be working. And what we can do is that we can just change the periods to something like 200. So now we get more stable trend. And yeah, what happens is that it seems like for... Okay, where's the issue there? Yeah, sorry. If we change this to 200, what can be seen is that the strength of the trend goes, yeah, it vanishes basically. So this is our peak, and it's of 16. So the downside that I didn't know about before this video is that obviously the ADX doesn't work with every, or it does work, like it does work, but for our indicator it does not. So we have to like keep the initial period basically. But it's still nice. Like from seeing this, it's much more clear to me like what we are working with. Okay, so I am happy with this, to be honest. I'm happy with this. So let's just zoom in here. Yeah, I am happy with this. What we could do for the ADX, let's just like think about what we could do or how we could change the indicator in order for it to work even for the ADX of 200 basically. What we can do is that we can, like, at the onInit function, we can loop over all of the values of the ADX over, like, since start of history that we can work with, and we can collect all of these ADX values, and then we can, like, calculate the average value. So for example, for ADX of 200, the average value would be something like 15. And then we know that if we are, then we can also calculate something like a standard deviation, and then we can say something like if the ADX value is higher than the average ADX value plus the standard deviation, for example, then this is our strong trend or something like this. Okay, so then it really doesn't matter, like, with what values are we working with, because what we would be doing is that we would compare the current value like in a relation to the average value. So that's just an idea of what we would, of what we could do about this situation right here. Yeah, but for this video I think this is good enough. If you are interested in this new idea that I've explained here right now, let me know in the comments, and I might make a tutorial on that as well. Anyway, yeah, I will also just before finishing this video, I will go here and I will show you the, yeah, it might be too small. Okay, if this is too small for you, I am sorry, I forgot to change the size, but yeah, here you can see the code with larger size of the letters. Okay, so let's go over this one more time so you can, like, see everything clear. So I will go slowly down, and it's really nothing that difficult. Okay, so yeah, this is all of the code. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.